Good morning, people. Wash and Talk Saturday in a rush. It's like 6:50 a.m. Gotta beat the sun. So I've been using the AR630 here, and luckily I have an old golf cart charging port here, or not port, but outlet. So I can run the 19 amp AR pretty easily. I've got my bucket filler set up, I'll show you that. So I don't have to worry about kinking the hose and trying to get it to fill up the bucket before I hook up the pressure washer. That's good. So this guy, the reason that I'm using this one instead of the Krenzla is because I have the Krenzla on the wall. I've already done several installs at other people's houses and made tons of videos on that. And I have one at HQ. So I figured this ought to be something we should set up here at this house, and Tommy and Kyle and everybody talked me into setting this one up here. So that's why I'm doing this one. And this is a 4.0 nozzle, which is no good. And I brought a 4.5 and a 5.0 nozzle. I've got some new stainless nozzles from MTM. And insert nozzles, 1/8 inch nozzles. So I wanted to test that out here this morning. And they didn't send me any 5.0, so we'll test out the 4.0 version. No leaks. All good. And we'll get the water out. I've already set up my bucket. I feel like it's been a while since we've had a chat. Well, the pattern, the dispersion, that's really nice. So these are the same manufacturer, Chinese manufacturer, as the normal MTM nozzles, the normal colored ones that we've been using. A lot of people see that 4.5 is probably around 1,300 PSI. I don't like that. I like it to be a little bit more controlled, around 1,000. We've got my normie washing down to a science now. All right, so the RS has really been workhorse this week. Oh, these nozzles are really nice. A little too much pressure, but... And you hear the AR. The AR has a nice, simple sound to it. It doesn't make some whiny, annoying noise. This is actually, quite a bit more horsepower than quite a bit more output than the Krenzla. A lot of people like this over the Krenzla because... Well, because which is weird because I've chosen this one too, but because I like the Krenzla, so a lot of people don't like it. And they like to be contrarians, which I get. I'm generally a contrarian as well, but you can't argue greatness. To me, the Krenzla is like the Porsche. It's like the 911 of pressure washers, and this AR is like a ZL1 Camaro. It's a good car. Real fast, real powerful. It's a little crude, but and it's Italian, so it's a little bit of jank to it. But for a few $100 less, and it has more output, is certainly a viable solution. That's why we have it in the store. But this version really needs. You need a dedicated 20 amp circuit, or it isn't going to work. I mean, it's a 19 amp. I forget what we registered when we, it's on the pressure washer spreadsheet. You can go to obsessedgarage.com, go to pressure washing section, and you'll be able to see the pressure washer spreadsheet there. You can go check out all the specs, but I think this thing drew 17, 18 amps with a foam cannon. So you definitely need a nice clean 20 amp. You can use a regular 20 amp circuit. It'll work. You just can't have a bunch of lights and toasters and other things running on that at the same time, because it'll trip. It'll exceed the breaker's limit. And then my buddy Samit, it's so funny when I see Samit post in the group. Samit is the guy who imports. He imports the what are those spray bottles called? Pump sprayers. It'll come to me in a minute. But he started a company called Luxury Microfiber. He lives up in Minnesota. And he got hooked up with Scott, the Dallas Paint Correction YouTube channel, and they've parted ways. And so it's so funny to see everybody comment. Samit started the company. He sort of had Scott as his spokesperson, and now nobody realizes that. I could see it clear as day that that there was someone behind that. And so they parted ways, and now people are like, "What, did you buy this from Scott?" No. But anyway, he went to AR and had them make a new, ground up pressure washer. And so I forget what the model number is, but we'll get one of those to test out. I got to do some more playing with the pump sprayers. What the heck are those things called? I lost my mind. I remember every model number on the planet. Oh, Marilex. I'm a freaking idiot. Dang it. Yeah, so anyway, we'll be playing with that soon. And I promise I will get back on the pressure washing project to get the spreadsheet up to date. Everything's rounding out here, and the yarn building's coming together. I really need a monitor for this camera. Let's go to a 5.0. I don't like that. I like this nozzle though, so these are going to be a good alternative. The problem is we run out of the Mosmatic ones all the time. So here's a 40 degree 5.0. This has a little butterfly inside of it. So I'm going to have to test and see if the spray pattern looks good. There's like a little infinity looking little clip, little butterfly clip inside of these that if you're getting if the lower volume pressure washers, that butterfly makes the pattern a little bit odd. Uh-oh, that's not screwed on. Let me go screw that on real fast. So I think this is to this nozzle assembly. I think this is a 22 millimeter. I just put it in the vise. And then this is a 13 millimeter, and you screw it in. And this is another thing that really wasn't a thing. What we had always done in the past is this assembly was on the end of the wand, and then we put a quick disconnect inside of this, which stuck out, which really defeated the purpose of this protector. The reason why we put the protector back over it was, like, if you buy the regular Mosmatic version, the regular Mosmatic gun combo, the original, we would do a normal nozzle on it. But this nozzle assembly is much, much better. And then I just put a gold, see that little gold line on the top so I know which is vertical. Yeah, people, I think I think that was my 5.0 is the nozzle to do on this AR. Some people like more pressure though, and you can run it all the way down to 4 and be okay. If you start running like 3.5 or some, you know what I should do? I should start putting the foam cannon right here while I'm washing. Some people like to run it down to 3.5, but that's probably pushing the luck of your pressure washer. So here's a modified. This is the, gosh, my model numbers are leaving companies are leaving my brain here today. This is Detail Factory. So this is the Detail Factory handle that I modified. So I cut about 1.5 inches, 1 3/4 off the end of it, and then I took a which you can't get these right now, but I took a Microfiber Madness from the Microfiber Madness thingy, and notice this one is quite a bit more pliable, which is fine. I don't love the handle. The new handle they put on is kind of squishy and not super stout, and so this combination is really great. And you're using an Increta brush, whatever you call this, cover on a Detail Factory handle, modified, and we get a pretty nice experience. For cleaning. Now these are 13-inch wide, 12.5, 13-inch wide wheels, so it's kind of hard to get in there. But it depends on what you prefer. This is a little bit harder plastic, so if you're real nervous about your wheels, then you may still prefer the traditional way of doing it. Yeah, see the infinity clip causing a little flutter there. So I'm gonna go take that clip out. I don't like that. I'll show you when I take it out here. Okay, I gotta quit screwing around. So, see that little tiny, looks like a little infinity sign. That is inside, so I take the nozzle off with a 13 millimeter, unscrew it, and then pry it out. Pry it out of the inside. Now, much more even spray pattern. And to finish the job here. I'm liking my new Nike, I guess they're not new anymore, but these are Air Pegasus all-weather, but they are semi-water resistant, keep my feet dry, and they're super comfy, and you can use them to run in if you wanted to when it's wet out. They're really pretty nice. So I like them. I like them for washing. They're my new wash standard. And they're black, which is good, because you're going to get them dirty from messing around out here on the car. So the RS is doing well. We did the Dundon exhaust on it. I tell you, the AWE exhaust actually sounds better than this. It has a deeper tone. It's a little bit louder, a little more aggressive. But this makes some horsepower, so this, I mean, it does the sound difference you'd never know unless you rode with the two different exhausts for a long time, like I have. But I still think they're the best two options. You know, AWE for those who don't want to spend spend 10 grand on a header set or modify it as much as you need to. Both of them you need to take the rear bumper off. So, man, I keep thinking about the Raptor. I'm pretty sure I fixed the Raptor, but it was leaking from the sunroof. But I don't know now. There was water underneath the floor mat, so I'm hoping. I don't know. I'm hoping Michelle just put the floor mat in and trap the water in there. I don't think that's the case, though. I think I might be in trouble. I think maybe I need to take the back part out to see if it's leaking from the back now. Maybe they didn't put a drain line on the back as well. Not looking good. Should just take it to the dealer and have them check it out. So, I have a confession to make. The last wash and talk, you guys are making fun of me because I kept getting in the bed of the Raptor, the old Raptor, the white Raptor. And I was doing the exit interview, washing it. And so I box jumped into the bed with the darn, hose in my hand. And people couldn't believe it. They're like, "Ooh, this fat loser can jump into the back of a Raptor." They was making fun of me, which is fine. And then I started talking trash on the podcast, and people always underestimate me. Which you'd think people would stop doing by now, underestimating me. And then I'm talking trash. The next day, I'm pretty sure I tore my meniscus again. To remember the root cause of my phobias and fears and obsessions is the doctor and surgery. So not doing well mentally for me. So it's getting better. There's no clicking or anything, so I'm praying that it's fine. But I thought that was a bit humbling and ironic that I'm talking trash and I hurt myself. So the rational thing to do would be to double down on your diet, get really focused. Well, yeah, I've done the opposite, as usual. My body keeps telling me, "Hey, bro, we want to be 250." My mind telling me, "I want to be 205." Yeah, not good. So I'll keep you posted on that, but it's feeling much better. Last weekend I didn't do any washing talks. I was washing cars. Actually, last weekend today we had the open house, which was great. I was just hobbling around for that. So, yeah. So, what else we got going? One thing I'll mention, we'll talk a little bit about the yarn building as we're washing here, and if you're not familiar, the yarn building was the building behind OGHQ building, and the lady that was in there had a giant sign that said yarn on it, and so it will now affectionately be called the yarn building from now on forever, as I think that's a cool name. So we're setting that up and getting our, we're calling it the drafting room, the studio, and the workshop the 3 different departments that will be in there. The drafting room will be branded for garage design. The studio will be branded the studio for the team that does all of the media related things, photo, video editing, and content creation, production of what we're doing. And right now we posted a job, so I figured I'd mention it here. So Kyle basically needs an assistant, somebody to help draw up these amazing garages that we're putting together as he's building out the design department. And so I told them, I gave them the go-ahead to hire someone. Now this is an entry position starting out. We generally start people out at 35 grand, which everybody scoffs at. That's what you start out at to prove yourself. I think it's pretty fair. That's $17.50 an hour. It's a pretty fair starting point for people. And you know, you don't have to be an architect, but you got to be good at using a darn computer. So that way, you and Kyle can start to build out. You're getting on the ground floor of what I think is going to be a multi-million dollar business for, I'm kind of tucked in here, kind of tight. I'm going to get in here because the sun's going to catch up to me here in a minute. But I'm looking for somebody who loves what we do. No, you can't do it remotely. You've got to be here. Can't get any collaboration done if you're doing it over Zoom. We're not doing that. And I'm telling you, having the new building kind of puts it over the top. How freaking awesome this is going to be. And you're going to come in and work your face off, work your way up, and who knows, maybe you'll become the CEO of Obsessed Garage when I'm off onto the next venture in 20 years. But the person we're looking for, you know, we're going to teach you how to design on Revit. We're transitioning to CAD, you know, to AutoCAD. And I believe that, I don't know much about it. Kyle's taking the lead on this, but we've been using a software called Home Designer. So we've been using Home Designer for several years now. It's like I'm kind of blown out here, aren't I? It's definitely not that bright out right now. It's actually kind of dark. But we were using Home Designer to design and lay out garage, you know, two-dimensionally for people. And we're building a formal design section of our website, which will evolve into teaching people how to design their own garage. And then if you need more sophisticated services, you can then hire us to do it. I'm not particularly interested in creating installation services, but we're going to provide everybody that, you know, has a design. We'll provide the resources needed for your contractor, general contractor, your tradesmen to come and do what we've designed. And then ultimately we'll set up our site will be set up to the point to where you'll be able to really design your own garage on our site and, you know, hopefully buy all the stuff from us. So we teach everybody how to do it. And so I need somebody to come in and help build that and learn on the fly, because it doesn't exist. So it's not like we're going to hire a garage designer. There's no such thing as a garage designer. At least there isn't until now. So if you have an interest in coming and learning and growing with us, hit me up, Matt at obsessgarage.com or Kyle at obsessgarage.com. You know, you're probably smart if you send a like a video resume, you know, a video talking about you and your life and why you'd be a good fit. That always helps. You know, send photos, send content. You know, create a pitch for why, you know, we would choose you to come do this. It'll help us make that decision. And then you can laugh at all those people who scoffed at you, who are making $50,000 from now until the rest of their life, when you're making 150 because you helped me build something great by taking a chance. But I'm not particularly interested in paying someone that I don't know a bunch of money to do something that I don't know if they can do, because everyone is always convinced that they can do everything, which is a bunch of crap. And so instead, start you out at enough to survive, and then it'll grow quickly from there if you frickin' kill it. So that's what I'm looking for. But I'm telling you, this freaking place, it's gonna be, our facilities are great, but forget the facility, the people, the collaboration, what everybody's doing. Kyle has actually started, he's going to get his advanced degree and getting a degree in CAD and architecture. You know, nights and weekends he's doing that. Which is right up my freaking alley. That's what I've spent my whole life doing, is pursuing certification and secondary education while honing your craft. I think that's how you win. So I bought my next vehicle. I ordered it anyway. Ford Transit cargo van. It's about time. We need a cargo van. I bought it in OG, I forget what color. I think it's called Blue Jeans Blue. We'll get that thing coated and corrected. I'm telling you, the halo coating that's on this is still holding up freaking great. My foam cannon going. I already set this up. Can't wait to get my pressure washer set up. This is the whole reason for an electric pressure washer, is to have the ability to come out here at 6, 7 in the morning and do this. So, as you can see, got my bucket filler going. It's kind of weird on the side of the wall there, but I think it'll make sense. We'll find out. I think it'll make sense when I get this. I get my shelves and my tile and all that set up here. You can see I got the plywood in if you weren't watching those videos. This is GSF. We have the GSF 5 liters back in stock. You want to grab one of those if you've been thinking about getting the soap. We were out of stock for a month. Stock has been the biggest issue of everything. Having inventory makes me freaking nervous. But this is a prior P118 or P114 hose bib. bucket filler. It's the way to go, man, I'm telling you. So good. I think we're gonna get this thing washed, not hit in the sun. I think we timed it all right. Go in, edit this video, and hopefully get it up today. So I've never seen anybody, I'm sure somebody's done it, or have done a tile. We're going to do a backsplash tile up against the where the pressure washer is going to go, as well as where the bucket filler is. And we'll put, vapor barrier and all that stuff behind it. So that way we won't have to worry about issues of water running down the wall. And we'll just do, somebody had suggested, which makes perfect sense. I like to think I would have figured it out. We'll need to do like a little bit of a standoff for, when I do the tile, so that we don't crack the tile when tightening everything down. So that's going to be freaking cool. Dang it, I always get it on the right leg every time I hit it with soap. Oh, there's the left. I don't know how I do that. I'm just not paying attention when I first start swiping every single time. I'm telling you though, it's nice having these shoes. So I always slop some water from this on my toes. It's nice having these shoes for that. So we got our uplift desks done. So I had Kyle reach out to a couple of office design companies. Only one of them actually responded. We wanted to hire them to design our yarn building, lay it out for us. And then we got with a company that sells Knoll products, which is what I had at Merrill Lynch and Raymond James, and they do a lot of really nice office furniture, both modern and traditional stuff. And Kyle sent him our design, our layout. So I initially laid it out, and Kyle modified it from there. And took just my basic idea and really formalized it, made it better. And so he took the reins on that. Him and Bryce worked out how we were going to lay things out. And then we sent them that, thinking they would take it and modify from there. And all they did was take our exact design and just regurgitate it, only making it worse. So we just decided we're going to freaking do this ourselves. And it was going to cost 4.5 times what it would cost if we did it on our own, which would have been fine if they would have done some work and made it amazing. You got to pay for expertise. But gosh, maybe they didn't realize they were just copying what we were showing them. And then the furniture choices were terrible. So we did it ourselves. And so we have a bunch of uplift desks that Uplift now sells, office solutions. And so we have a entire integrated design face-to-face desks that's really cool. It's going to be really cool for collaboration. And so we very comfortably fit in not a huge space, but a 1,000 square foot area or so. We fit 13 people. And then we'll have another 7 or 8 in the studio area. And so it's going to be freaking sweet. It is sweet. But we got 4 of the desks set up yesterday. The other 6 we'll do this week. We're waiting on a few more parts to come to finish that up. And we're rolling. Then I can start working on the garage. I'm going to unbox probably, I don't know if I'll do it today, but I'm going to unbox my and put into position my mounting, balancing stuff, my Hunter road force, and put my air compressor in place. Mike's gonna be here in a week or so. I'm hoping we can time it out, or we can get the floor cut. So we're gonna cut and recess the noose bomb. The thing I'm really excited about is having a dedicated unboxing studio where they can set me up, stage everything, not interfere with whatever car project we're working on. I have to put all that crap away in order to shoot a video in a corner somewhere. So we're gonna have a dedicated space where we can, or area where we can do like overhead unboxings and all kinds of freaking cool stuff. Just wait till you see. We're sharing it all, you know, via Inside the Hex and on the YouTube channel as well. In fact, I think that's the video up before this one, is the yarn building updates. So the drywall is done. All our permitting and all of that is on track. So we ought to be in there. Well, 4 of them will be in there and operating this week. All the painting's done. All the trim is done. We're buttoning up electrical this week. The air conditioning will be completed this week. I'm gonna insulate, I'll make a video on that, insulate the doors that are there, those crappy single panel roll-up doors. So I'm gonna take care of that. You know what, I keep forgetting to open this thing up because it gets real dirty in there. Gotta make sure I do that. I didn't do that on the last wash. So I gotta time this perfectly. So yeah, we're looking for our next team member, next person to come in and build some stuff with us. And then Brad's been here for about a month. We've been making some real headway into, you know, improving. We've been creating products at such a fast pace, you know, on our site. Because what I don't like to do is to just take stock images. You know, we had to do that for a few products that we're gonna solve. We're gonna fix that, like the Jenny air compressors. And our bend pack lifts. I need to get in and clean that up. But we've got some huge projects that we're undertaking and improving the site. It's become too robust. It's become somewhat complicated to purchase things, and that's the opposite of what it's supposed to do. And so Brad came in from, I hired him to come in from, he moved from Colorado and is really driving that. Him and Tommy and Bryce are really driving that initiative to get in and take us to the next level. Once that project's done, then our site will also become much more searchable, much more inorganically marketable, where we can really start to drive traffic toward the site. Exciting times, really exciting times. Can't you hear it in my voice? So I don't have time to be panicking about my freaking knee being jacked up. All right, let's rinse it. So we're gonna just beat the sun. So this house project's coming together. found a couple more houses to go back up in the mountains. Nothing interesting to us in I really want to be in the highlands ultimately. But the cost, it's about 2 times the cost of the rest of the mountains. I think we want to be in North Carolina because North Carolina has much more favorable tax cost of property tax. The Destination OG is certainly not dead. We just need to find the first property. And I'm patient. I'm not in any rush. So the RS is going to take the week off, a couple weeks off probably. I drove it every day this week. I think maybe I'll drive the E46 this week. Stubbies will be here soon. I'm going to leave this out. I'm going to take this to the garage. Last of my drying aid prototype, because the real drying aid will be here in a few short days, I think. I think it's already shipped. So the Slipstream drying aid from B&B, it's going to have to be called the Obsessed Garage Drying Aid, will be here very soon. It's a good thing. This is why I took the dye out, the color out. Because look, it's staining the bottle this kind of puke orange color. It's no good. So we're doing unscented, uncolored, non-colored, however you say that, colorless, odorless, simple. Let's push this little guy down. It's like we beat the sun. It's a good thing I didn't put my glasses on, didn't brush my teeth, didn't eat breakfast. I just quickly got my rear end out here and should have gotten up a half an hour earlier. We were up looking at houses in the mountains last night. So we found a couple more in Hayesville, which is not the Highlands. It's just north of Hiawassee, Georgia, right across the border in North Carolina, which makes it more favorable to me. And so the concept again is to buy a property, or at least start with one property, and we're going to make it you borrow it for money, as well as I get to go to it when I want to. And it would be a lot less risky to give this thing a start doing it in a house that's half the price of the houses in the Highlands, but the Highlands is freaking amazing. I love the Highlands. It's one of my favorite places in the world. So we'll see. I mean, one way or another, I'm going to end up with a place there. But I really think that this whole destination thing could really do well. I know it because I want to buy it. I'd rather someone else do it. I could just rent the house from them. But I'm going to have to do it myself. But the good news about these two houses in Hayesville is they have giant garages. Maybe not giant, but large, garages like the size of this. Nice. We beat the sun. The rest of this will be in the shade. Just do this rear window. Kind of drying it a little differently than I normally do. I normally start at the front. I'm going to put this thing in the corner, cover it up, give it a week off. Yeah, this combo of large bulk drying followed by lower pile, nice and soft. This is the ticket. At least it is today. That ticket changes as new things come to me knowing them. Oh, I gotta do this side. How did Chase get inside? I don't know how he got back in there. He was out here when I came out this morning. Yeah, so the warehouse, I'll talk about it inside the hex here coming up, but the warehouse has taken a significant shift. I've started another business, which I'll talk about in there. I'll talk about inside the hex. I don't really want to talk about that publicly yet. But yeah, this new venture is going to really streamline and support the Obsessed Garage business. It's something that I needed to create in order to be able to supply what Obsessed Garage needs more timely, more efficiently, with more options. And so we'll be sharing that one at some point. We got a lot of work to do. That's in progress right now. It's a lot of work. It wouldn't make sense to you if I told you what I'm doing. So I'll just keep that one to myself for now. But audio, I've made some amazing discoveries in the last 6 months chasing the garage audio dream. It's so funny to watch audio guys get so mad. It's the same thing as every other thing I've ever done. Hose reels, pressure washers. People that know a little bit about them get so angry. And it's because they didn't think about it. The garage is a terrible place to listen. Well, maybe, but here's the problem. I don't have, and most people don't have, a room, and I don't even want that. I don't want some wasted room with just 2-channel audio in it. I'm never ever going to use it. Shoot, a dedicated home theater I never ever used, like ever. And just sat there. I want it to be in, I want my audio, I want to have really cool, I love gear. I like the gear more than I like listening to it. And so I want to have all this amazing gear, this audio equipment, in the places that I use. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to be able to listen to things when I'm doing other stuff, like washing my car. And so we're going to make do with the place we've got. And so we're not doing freaking crazy audio. $1,500 speakers, maybe to some of you is crazy, but to me it's not. And it shouldn't be to you either. And so what I'm looking for, kind of like pressure washer. Everybody told me, no one's going to do that. You can't do that. You can't use quick disconnects. You don't need this. You can't use an inlet hose. All these things have been told. Buckets. No one's going to buy that. No one wants that. That's too much money. You can do it this way. You can do it that way. Well, I don't listen to any of that. I hear you. I understand what you're saying. I also understand that you just don't know what I'm thinking. And that's okay. That's good, because if you did, then you would have already done it. And then I can't do it. And so for me, the garage is a place where I really listen to music. Same thing with a car. A car is a terrible place to do audio, and yet there's a whole industry built around it. And so the garage, to me, is where I'm going to listen to more music than anywhere else in my life. And so I want some decent solutions. And so I'm chasing, viable, useful, repeatable systems that we can teach people how to set up. And I've sourced cables, I've sourced speakers, I've sourced receivers, integrated amplifiers, streaming DACs, and I'm playing with all this stuff. One, because I want to play with it. It's super fun. But secondly, the second thing is then I get to justify it, buying all this stuff, and having all this stuff for myself. I get to justify it by selling it and providing a solution to you, the people that are watching this. But enough of the negative. The positive is that I found some really cool things. I mean, not things that are like hiding, but that can really work remarkably well in the garage. First and foremost being studio monitors. So the studio monitor setup is going to become the standard. So I'll be making videos here coming up. I've already ordered lots and lots of dollars of stuff. And so I started to order inventory as well, so we can get rolling on getting these solutions set up. A couple of guys came by the open house that work for a company that manufactures cables, so that solved my problem there. It's awesome. So we're off and running. Oh, I already cleaned that. Shoot, I dried that. So look out, audio world. I'm coming in to cause a little disruption, and they'll be kicking and screaming all the way. It's taken a lot of convincing, a lot of commitment to purchase. But on the entry level, we'll be doing, I was planning on doing SVS, and there's the president of, I guess he's the head of U.S. marketing, U.S. distribution. I forget what Ken's title is, but he's a Villanova grad, and so we hit it off there. But the problem is I just ordered some SVS stuff, and I don't like it. I don't like how it sounds. It's way, way too bright, especially for the garage. We need muted, we need controlled, subdued speakers for the garage. Because it's such a terrible box to put speakers in. But you're not sitting there doing critical listening. You're jacking up your car, putting it on jack stands or detailing it or, doing work in the garage. You're not sitting there in front of the speakers looking for perfect stereo imaging. You're just looking to have some great sounding music that isn't super, I've got to put a little WD-40 on this thing. So we're looking for it to sound nice and have some good mid-range, good bass response, and have it not be too bright and shrill. Oh, shoot. In the garage. And so I ordered a set of PSBs just because I became an NAD dealer and the same importer handles all of those. And I freaking love them. They're so good. They start at $250 a pair. $250. So we're going to be able to build a system, and then they have a wired and powered wireless set. I'm telling you. Just wait. Did I already do this? I think I did. See, this is what happens when I go outside the box. My normal drying process. I got myself all turned around here. Getting all excited about audio. Yeah, I think I already dried all this. So audio is coming, folks. It's gonna be freaking great. You'll see. And some of the solutions are gonna get a bit ridiculous, but I love ridiculous. Everybody should love ridiculous. Ridiculous is what we all aspire to do. I mean, this car is ridiculous. The vise I have over my cabins is ridiculous. These wheels and tires are ridiculous. So why wouldn't we want ridiculously awesome audio in the garage? So I'm doing it. I don't care what you say. Worst case scenario, I bought a bunch of speakers that nobody wants. But I suspect people will want it. Because it's freaking annoying trying to figure it out. You're ordering things, and you order it, and it doesn't work right because you thought it would do something, and it doesn't quite do what you thought. I'm going to solve all those problems for you. And you're just going to have to take my word for what sounds good and what doesn't. Because most of you aren't going to have some audio testing lab where you can go to and listen to 100 speakers. I had to buy them all and spend hundreds, nearly six figures, if not, I'm probably over six figures now, of buying and trying products. Then I can, gosh, this thing's squeaking is crazy. Sorry about that. I'll fix that for the next video. So I'm going to take that pain away. Let Uncle Matty take the pain away. Because I love doing that. I love creating pain for myself. Ooh, new green shirt. New green Obsessed Garage shirt. Speaking of sales pitches. I think it's out. So, yeah, it's been so much fun. I'm still waiting on a bunch of my NAD stuff to get here. But it's funny, a lot of the things that I think are going to be the right component, and you get it, and I freaking hate it. Buying it when everybody else says, listening to other reviews and, YouTube videos, of different products, and then I get it, and I hate it. Because almost all of that stuff, I'm the only one who's buying it. They're getting it for free. So when you get something for free, you can't freaking say what needs to be said. It's just the way it works. You just can't, and most people are polite. And so you can't say what is so. You've got to say what is kind of accurate, but it's just, real nicey nice. because you got it for free, and if you want the company to send you anything else for free again, you got to be nice about it, which means then you never get the real deal. I'm putting my freaking money up, so I'm allowed to say whatever the heck I want. So if I don't like it, I don't like it. I'll move on to the next thing, because I'm going to buy the next thing and then figure it out. So I worked really hard to try to get PSB, or not PSB, SVS, and they still haven't approved me, which was a mistake, because I probably would have been stuck with it, with a lot of it. But the PSB stuff is a Canadian manufacturer, Paul Barton, I think it is. Paul S. Barton speakers. They're super cheap. You know, I open up the box, I'm like, oh my gosh, these are terrible. What have I wasted my money? And then I listen to them, like, oh my gosh. For, you know, it's aluminum dome. I hate aluminum dome speakers generally, other than some of them maybe like Monitor Audio, or there's a few well done aluminum dome. Normally they sound kind of shrill. And so that's strike one. Strike two is I open up the box and I'm like, these are the cheapest pieces of crap. They're so light. It's just a veneered, you know, really thin MDF. I'm like, well, this is no good. We're not doing these. And then I turned them on. I was like, oh my gosh, these are freaking awesome. And then I bought my own set of SVS's and turned them on next to it. And this is what my gut was telling me. And sure enough, not the right speakers for me. Not the right speakers for the garage. They're just they're very lively, but they're just too bright. They're what most of you would like if I didn't tell you otherwise. If you didn't know any better. That's why I never really love B&W speakers. They're just, I don't know, they're just too bright for me. I like it to be warm. And you need it to be that way for the garage. Otherwise, you're going to end up with a headache from too shiny, bright, obnoxious. You know, like, I think Klipsch is fun. I like Klipsch speakers for the home theater. I think it's a fun, you know, rip your face off, really efficient option. For the garage, for the you know, the home theater. It's inexpensive, but for the garage, your ears will be bleeding. Dang, I'm gonna have to pull these wheels off and really, I think they need a fresh coat, fresh cleanup and coating, because they're looking kind of janked. Doesn't help that they're in the sun. Just spray a little tire dressing on this squeaky thing. So I'm gonna go cover this car up. I'm gonna go in and edit this video, and then my cabinet guys are coming because they frickin' screwed up a bunch of stuff again. They're supposed to be done. This is supposed to be a 3-day project. Well, we're 3 months in. It's been a complete disaster. Just can't get out of their own way. So it made them. The owner made the guys come out on Saturday. So that's probably not going to go well. Probably not going to be real happy. So anyway, that's a wrap. I'll catch you on the next car. Lots and lots of cool stuff coming. See you soon. Hit me up if you want a job. I want to hire you.